Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Daniel, and for those of you who don't know me, I have always been a Nintendo fanboy. I grew up with the Game Boy Color, and then graduated up to the Game Boy Advance, SP, got a GameCube, Wii, got a Wii U near launch, right? So it's always been Nintendo. And then at some point I got the PS3 and I fell in love with some of the exclusives, played a bunch of Uncharted, The Last of Us came out, loved those games, and I just kind of always been on PlayStation ever since. But that was until the Xbox Series X and S released back in 2020. And the thing about those two consoles is I wasn't necessarily intrigued by them to begin with, but the Xbox Series S did catch my interest the second I started seeing more GamePass advertisements, right? Xbox was advertising this little console, super small, and I thought it was really cute that it matched the PS5, so it just felt like, okay, I see what they're trying to do here. It makes sense. Let's go ahead and jump in and try it out. Now, shortly after getting the Xbox Series S, my PS5 started collecting dust, and I'm not ashamed to say that. I absolutely loved the Series S. I loved everything it was doing. I loved the form factor. I really enjoyed the Game Pass library. There were a lot of titles that I missed out on, so being able to go back and play those legacy titles. Eventually I got to play some Forza Horizon 5. I got to play Halo Infinite, and say what you will about that game, I know that it was very bare bones at launch, but the gameplay was still really good, right? I played a little bit of Halo 5 back when that released on a friend's Xbox. Wasn't thrilled, wasn't impressed at all, but the Halo Infinite gameplay, like, it felt right, and I knew that it was just a matter of time before they started bringing in everything, and the campaign was pretty fun too. And then playing something like Microsoft Flight Simulator eventually was, again, just a showstopper. I think it did a really good job of, just kind of showing what the Series S could do, and I think that was the game that really got my interest peaked in the Series X. So shortly after, I went ahead and just got the Series X, and I've been enjoying it ever since. Now, I have gone back and forth. I think I'm on my third Series X right now, and probably my fourth or fifth Series S, because I never really felt like it was necessary to own two Xboxes. I decided to make Xbox my multiplayer platform because I realized that a lot of the games I really love on PlayStation are all single player games, and the games that I do enjoy playing multiplayer, well, they offer crossplay, right? And if I'm going to pay for a subscription service like Game Pass Ultimate, I might as well just use that for my online multiplayer, and then this way I don't really have to pay for PS Plus. But I still had the dilemma of having two Xboxes, right? So it came down to at one point I gave the Series S to my wife, and I put the Series X, and there's older videos on my channel of us doing desk setups and this, that, and the other, and we got in deep. We rugs, chairs, the whole 9 yards, lighting, we went all in on it. But my wife isn't really much of a gamer, so her setup ended up collecting dust, and I felt kind of like we sectioned off this whole area of the room to do that. Just felt like a waste of space at that point. So we kind of just undid all that. I ended up selling the Series S, keeping the X, but then I realized I really enjoyed having the S, and I think that's when I realized that there is merit to owning both, and there is a benefit to having more than one console in the house, from the same platform. Now, this isn't a new concept. I'm not trying to claim that I made this idea up and that everyone should try it, but I just wanted to share my experiences with it, because I think I've owned multiple PlayStations. I've had multiple PS3s in the household. I mean, I still do. I've had, a PS4, PS4 Pro, and a PS5 all in the house at the same time, and they just never felt like they really were connected, right? Like, yeah, cool, I could sign into my accounts on all of them. I was able to game share with one of them, but even that was a really spotty. I never really felt like I was able to get the full access out of it. I remember the game, I think, that really started it was Modern Warfare 2019. For whatever reason, it wouldn't let me play on my account. It would let my wife play when she was playing on the PS4 Pro, and then I would try to play the game on my PS5 or even the PS4, and it just wouldn't work. I did everything. I restored my licenses, uninstalled, reinstalled, everything, and nothing would work. So I just, that's kind of what pushed this whole 2 Xbox thing. So going forward, I had to kind of figure out what I was going to do with both of these Xboxes, because on one hand, I knew I wanted one in the living room, right? Because there are a lot of single player story driven games on Game Pass that are, better experienced sitting on a couch and, playing in the 4K resolution and all that stuff. But then I have my desk set up where I do enjoy, right, while I'm editing a video, for example, or waiting for a video to upload. I like to play a quick match on Modern Warfare or drive around on Forza or whatever the case may be. I want to also have that experience at my desk. And I realized that I enjoy playing multiplayer, competitive kind of games at my desk. I don't really feel like I'm at 100%, I guess you could say, playing a game like Call of Duty from the couch. I just don't feel competitive. But when I'm at the desk, it's a whole different story. So I knew from there I wanted to go ahead and figure out a way to play on both ends. But the problem was, how do I decide which goes where? It makes a lot of sense to have my Series X set up and, on the 4K TV. And the Series S is set up on a monitor that gives me the 120 frames a second. And I know that most games on the Series S don't hit the 120. I mean, legacy titles do, right? You can play older 360 games and stuff, but there isn't too many big hitting games that are coming to Series S that are really pushing the hardware to those 120, even in 1080p, right? The lowest resolution the Series S is supposed to offer as a, HD experience and whatnot. But most of the games I play, the games I play at my desk, specifically Warzone, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, even Battlefield 2042, Halo Infinite, and Forza and Fortnite, all of these games offer 120 hertz mode, which is super cool because that's really all I need. They look good in 1080p and I get those super smooth frame rates. So the Series S just made a lot of sense to put on my desk. It doesn't take up a lot of space. And I think to wrap up everything and really just get to the point, everybody has their own setups, has their own situations, and having 2 Xboxes is not for everybody. But to say that having 2 of them is excessive or unnecessary, I think that really just depends on your situation, so that's very subjective to say. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. I hope you were able to get something out of it. Maybe I gave you some ideas for your own setups, or helped you out in deciding which console to get potentially. Wasn't the main focus point of the video, but I feel like you could take some of what I had to say and put it into that scenario. Nonetheless, if you liked the video, please drop a like. I'm a small YouTuber, so it helps me out more than you could ever imagine. And consider subscribing, because I'm making weekly content, a couple videos a week, a live stream every Friday. We're getting busy. We're growing, right? We just hit 1,000 subscribers not too long ago. So if you want to be a part of the community and grow with us, hit the subscribe button. Best way to do it. Click the bell so you get notified when I go live or upload a video. And if anything else, thanks for watching the video.